The man walked down the stairs, into the basement. Behind him, he dragged something large and heavy. In his other hand, he held a small knife. The hilt was made from leather, and the blade appeared heavily rusted. Across the metal were strange symbols that were hardly visible. He continued down the stairs, his expression blank. He set the item down on the floor. He looked down upon the little girl's face. A trickle of blood flowed from her left temple. He held the knife to his face for a moment, admiring the craftsmanship of the old blade, then turned his attention back to the little girl as he brought the knife down. He awoke with a start, sweat beading on his brow. This was the third night in a row he had had a dream like this. Each time, a different victim. A woman, little children. The dream always ended after he had consumed their heart. He could still picture the faces clearly, but he didn't know who they were. He walked down the corridor, heading to the kitchen for a glass of water. The dreams had been there for a while now, ever since he had acquired that knife. The knife. It was always in the dreams. He was reaching the end of his tether. If they didn't stop soon, he'd end it all himself. And why not? It's not like he had a family or anyone who would miss him.
Where are you? Never mind. I'm on my way to the scene now. Can you meet me there in, say, 15 minutes?
Roger that. Let me just finish up this assignment, and I'll head over. Chen quickly gobbled down the ice cream and started up the bike. He walked into the bedroom. Ugh! What's that smell?
I know! That's why we got the call. 45-year-old male found dead in his bedroom. Appears to be suicide by this. Police came after the neighbors reported a smell.
How long ago?
Just last night. The body hasn't started decomposing yet.
It smells like rotting meat.
Yeah, and it's all over the house, but we can't find anything. No bodily fluids, no bleach cover-ups, nothing.
Chen took the knife from Klaus and examined it closely. Well, this doesn't look typical. The engravings. He put the knife to his nose, then quickly pulled back. Have a sniff of this.
With the pungent odors all over the house, I couldn't smell the knife. It smells exactly the same.
The Chen men are known for having a highly developed sense of smell.
That is not true.
Yes, it is.
Can't be.
Why not?
'Cause if it was, you'd shower more often.
Funny, Doc. Real funny. They headed back to the Foundation, the knife having been the only piece of evidence worth investigating discovered at the scene. Klaus came into his lab. What took you so long?
Well, not all of us get flashy new toys to zoom around on.
You jealous of the bike?
What? No, of course not.
Come on, just a little.
Well, maybe a little.
You can take it for a spin.
I'd break my neck.
Yes. Yes, you would. A D-class came into the room.
Right on time. Can you take this to evidence lockup? I'll have a look at it when I have a chance.
You got it.
The D-class nodded and took the bag with her.
Hey, Chen. Remember that little talk we had about showers?
It's the bike, all right? It was hot out today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm going. As they had their breakfast, a junior research assistant came rushing in.
Agent Chen, Dr. Klaus. It's D85373. They took the knife to lockup?
Oh, right. What about her?
She reported having night terrors.
And?
She's never had them before last night.
She's a convict. She probably should be having nightmares.
Well, it's not just that. Her nightmare... She was murdering another D-class and eating their heart.
Again, she's probably a murderer.
Yeah, but in her dream, she was using a knife. The knife from lockup.
They entered the D-class's cell.
D85373, what did you do with that knife?
I put it in lockup, like you said.
Klaus looked to Chen. Confirmed, it's in lockup.
What happened between my lab and lockup?
Nothing, sir. Nothing at all.
You're not in trouble, D-class. Not yet. Now tell me.
I was just, curious.
Continue.
I took it out of the bag. You know, just swung it around a little. It was only for a minute. I didn't break it or anything.
So, you made physical contact with it?
Well, yes, but I didn't drop it.
Behind Klaus, the junior research assistant came into the room.
Let's see where this goes. Give her the knife for 10 minutes. Then let's put 2 other D-class with her tonight and see if they also have the dream.
He nodded his head. The research assistant came into the lab.
How's our lab rat?
Same story, sir. Night terrors again. She dreamt she killed 2 D-class this time and ate their hearts.
Are we missing any D-class in the general population?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Did D85373 give a description of the D-class in her dream?
She did. They don't match anyone on file.
Run the test again tonight. 10 minutes with the knife again, but let's try putting 2 D-class in her room with her this time.
Yes, sir.
Klaus walked the hallway with Chen.
Something odd is going on.
What's that?
I can't quite place it yet, but I get the feeling something is falling between the cracks.
Like we're missing some evidence?
Well, not really. I can't explain it. It's just odd.
Chen stopped Klaus.
What is it?
He sniffed the air. Do you smell that?
What?
Rotting meat.
How was the D-class's dreams last night?
Same as before. Murdered and ate the hearts of 2 D-class. Description of said D-classes don't match anyone on record.
Very odd. Let's try putting 2 D-class in her room no.
His voice trailed off as he looked around the room.
Dr. Klaus?
Do you smell that? Rotting meat. Show me the D-class personnel list.
He searched through the tablet, then passed it to Klaus.
Here. This isn't right. You see this? That's the total number of D-class in C quadrant. 95 out of 95.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
No, it's not. Each quadrant is 100 out of 100. If 5 D-class were missing, it'd read 95 out of 100. This reading is impossible. Something is wrong here. Let's go to the surveillance footage.
They watched the footage, looking for anything abnormal. I'm not seeing anything. Just D85373 holding that knife, as instructed.
It's not what you're seeing, but what you're not seeing.
What do you mean?
Each test was set for a duration of 10 minutes, right?
Right.
Then why is the timestamp 4 hours?
What? The research assistant came running into the room.
Sir, it's D85373. She's dead.
What? How?
Her stomach ruptured. She went into septic shock.
What were the contents of her stomach?
Well, that's just it, sir. Nothing. Nothing out of the ordinary. But it was hugely distended.
Secure and contain that knife. It is extremely dangerous. I want Class 6 decontamination anywhere you smell rotting meat.
On it.
He rushed out of the room. What is it?
Remember the old dead man in his bedroom? The knife. It's anti-memetic. That's its power. It removes its victims from your memory. I'll bet you dollars to donuts that old man dreamt of killing people too. Probably a wife and children. The knife removed the memories of them ever existing, but not the feelings. It would have driven him mad. That and the smell. Rotting meat because there were dead bodies in his home that he couldn't see.
So, D85373, she killed and ate other D-class hearts?
Yes, the knife removed them from our memories, but it couldn't remove everything.
The smell.
Yep. Still glad you have that great sense of smell?
I think I'm gonna be sick. SCP-3041. Object Class: Safe. 3041 is a 12-centimeter iron knife of unidentified origin with a hilt wrapped in braided leather. The knife's surface is rust-colored and smells of spoiled meat. 3041 exhibits its anomalous property only once it has been held by a sapient subject for a certain period of time. The length of time required to trigger 3041's effect varies widely. The underlying mechanism remains unknown. Once 3041 has activated, subjects will eventually experience a dream wherein they use SCP-3041 to attack one or more persons, removing and consuming their hearts. This dream is set wherever the subject initially held SCP-3041, and typically involves victims one would expect to find in this setting. In all cases, subjects do not recognize their victims. Subjects will often continue to have recurrences of this dream with little variation. Though amnestics reduce or even eliminate these occurrences, most subjects continue to show signs of emotional distress, guilt, and psychological trauma associated with PTSD. 3041's effect can be triggered multiple times, producing new dreams in each case. 3041 is to be kept in a secure locker on site. Researchers are not to hold 3041 or allowed to come in contact with their bare skin.
Logic and intuition both have their place and time. Rational thought is often a boon for a confusing situation, but never downplay the role of intuition. More often than not, that nagging doubt in the back of your mind is real.
As always, have a care and remember to subscribe, like, and share, if you would. Until next time, farewell.